Hey everyone. Hi everyone. Wow, 8 waiting in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, this is a big congratulations to me. I never in a million years thought I would get here. You know, at the beginning last week, I think at 579 or something like that. And I had been in the 500s for, I don't know, a year. And I just decided that I would do videos every day. And it took 1 week to get from a little under 600 to 1,000. I made it to 1,000 today, around 2 o'clock, I think it was. Amazing. Thank you all. 10 people here. Thank you so much. Wow. My daughter couldn't believe it that happened that quick. I think it really got her enthused to start her YouTube channel. Hi, Diane. Who's here? Arnetta Zucker. Is this your first time here? I think so. I've never heard that name before. And Bryland Farms, you were here last night. Thank you for coming back. New York Me, is that NYME? It probably isn't NIME. It's probably New York Me. Just found your channel and subscribed yesterday. Thank you so much. Arnetta, that's a pretty name. Fly Moves, hi. I found out you're the one that asked me to do the box opening on the camera. I'm sorry. I did try. It just didn't go well. And I had to, thank goodness I was recording it so I could just, it was too much to even get through. If I ever get this down pat, I will explain things about the camera to you. She is sleeping out on her bed out in the family room. She didn't come back here yet. She probably will. Sunny Moon Project. Thank you. You've been a long time? You've been here a long time? No, I've never seen your name. Well, thanks for coming on and introducing yourself. Her name, my dog's name is Penny. I'm not quite sure why they named her Penny. I would think the ones with the sort of copper colored spots would be named Penny, but she's black and white. So she's a rescue. I work with the Pointer Rescue Organization. And I almost changed her name when she got here, but I didn't. Because she seemed to know her name, so I didn't want to change it. Yeah. Yes, Penny. She's the most nervous dog I've ever had. Pointers are not usually nervous. And I've never had a pointer with, she doesn't like me to be out of her sight. So I looked up, I finally did a test on her where you find out what she really is. I think it's called Embark. And you just swab the inside of their gums and send it off. And she's not an English pointer at all. She's half German short hair pointer, which is real close. But she is English setter. And they do have they do prone to be have the separation anxiety that she has. I never had a dog like this. I hate to leave the house and leave her here. 16 in the chat. Wow, that was fast. Oh, Jackie C. Hi. So glad you're all here. We never know what happened to them. Yeah. I know that the reason they gave her up, she was adopted and was with a family in South Carolina for 4 years. So that should have been her permanent home. But they had two other pointers too. One had problems, I mean physical problems, and the other one they had since a tiny puppy. The one that they had from a tiny puppy was a much bigger dog than this one. This one they called a pocket pointer. Usually pointers are about 20 pounds heavier than she is. She's only 40 pounds. All my pointers before now have been close to 60 pounds. So she's small. But she was attacked by that dog that they owned. I forget how many times. 2 times that they had to take her to the vet, and it was more serious. So I don't know if that's what caused this. They never mention this separation anxiety. When, you have to go through a lot to adopt it from a rescue. They never mention that at all. So I hope it's not something that I do. My dog walker said, when I leave her, do I do the same exact thing every time? And we went through everything that I do when I leave. And yes, I do the same thing every time. So I'm going to try to make it completely different and see if that helps. She's already been on Prozac, and she's on another one now we were trying to see if it would help better, because it just doesn't seem to help at all. This one doesn't either. Yeah, you just never know when you rescue a dog. But yeah. You take the bad with all the good, because there's so much good. Jackie C., I'm not sure if you've been here before either. Well, I have my favorite drink here in my crystal wine glass. This is not wine. I can't really drink wine because the only kind of wine I like is sweet wine and red wine, and that gives me a horrible headache. So here's my favorite drink, A&W root beer. I'm like addicted to this root beer. Of course, it's just nothing but sugar, but it has no caffeine. Root beer has no caffeine. So yeah, my favorite snack is root beer and pretzels. Rhonda from Niagara Falls. Do you know that I'm from Erie, which isn't far from Niagara Falls? My mother, that's where they went on their honeymoon, like a million other people, to Niagara Falls. I'm not sure if my sister, she was going to be here today. Maybe it was my sister. It seems my mother and father came to Cleveland for their honeymoon, which was kind of strange. Jack, you're newish. Okay. You love root beer too, and Arnetta? Yeah. I don't know, something about it. Niagara Falls. Yeah. I've been there quite a few times. Yeah, this has been so exciting today to watch the numbers, and they went up so quick. Couldn't believe it. 26 in the chat. What? Wow. Oh. My daughter asked me, what do I do now to get monetized? I don't even know because I never thought I'd get here. So I never even looked up what you have to do, whether it just happens or I think you have to do something, but I don't know what yet. Oh. Yeah, I do plan on telling you what I did sell today. I did, um, last night I had only sold one thing yesterday. Well, I did sell three more things after I was on. So I'll show you those. And I did sell a great big heavy coat right as I was going to bed. It came through an offer. And I didn't take the offer right away. I didn't offer back. It was sort of low. I wanted more than that. So I knew what I was gonna offer back, but I didn't want to do it and have to get up. And I was so tired. I didn't want to pack that huge coat. So I waited till morning. Hopefully, he was still wanting it. So I put in an offer to him, which I'll show you. And he took the offer right away. And I packed up the coat, and this was a big, heavy, quilted inside canvas coat with a hood, men's, like an extra large. But it did fit in the number 7 box, the large priority box. I worried all night about that, whether it would fit in that box. Of course, I do have a lot of Amazon boxes I could have, you know. You like mimosas? Hides the taste of the. I don't think I've ever had a mimosa. Yes, I have over 1,000. I don't know how you. I looked after I got to 1,000, and it was 1,000.02. I don't know what that exactly that means. Does that just mean 1,002? Carla. Yes. uh, that's so amazing to me. Not only that I got here, but that it went so quick. Um, I'm trying to go on now and look at people that I that aren't to 1,000 that I watch, and for sure, subscribe to them. Pooh Hiker, hi. Thank you. Thank you. Champagne and orange juice. That's your favorite? Yeah. Wow. Now, when I was young, I used to drink what they called screwdrivers. That's alcohol and orange juice. I don't think it's champagne, though. And then I went through a period that I drank Bailey's. What were they called? I got sick on drinking too many of those because they're milky and sweet, and yeah, that was not good. I don't think I ever had one after that. Um, oh, that's a mimosa? Champagne. Oh, champagne and orange juice is a mimosa. Oh, okay. I know nothing about different drinks. Now, my daughter was a bartender for years and years. Yeah, she knows how to make anything, but yeah. Uh, okay, let me just stick in here what I did uh, sell, and then I will come back to this. I'm going to share my screen first and show you what I uh, sold late yesterday, and then I'll show you what I sold today. I'm going to share my screen here. Right before I do that, I have to click on this up here. Okay, let's try it. Okay, I had two little low offers come in. One was this Tommy Hilfiger women's t-shirt. I've had this a long time. I have the paperwork here. It sold for just $13, and I accepted the offer because I need to get some of these older things out of my inventory. And this went to Augusta, Georgia. At the same time, I got another offer on something, and I wondered if it had been the same person. And yes, it was. And it was this one, a little Gap t-shirt knit dress. It was the same person, but they bought them separately. They didn't put them in the cart, which they could have saved some shipping that way. So that little Gap, that little t-shirt dress sold for $11, which I took. And that, like I said, went to Augusta, Georgia. Now here's that big coat by Territory Ahead. It was a large, wasn't extra large, large, heavy canvas work jacket, men's, zip up. It had a hood, and inside it was all quilted. It was very, very heavy. A very nice work coat. I had it on sale for $36.74, and they offered $30. And I came back with 34, and he took the 34 offer. So here's the thing about that. I packed it all up, and it because I wanted it to go out today with the mail because tomorrow's Sunday. This went to Cookeville, Tennessee. He paid $34. He had to pay $18.25 shipping for priority weighted shipping, that's what it went. When I clicked in to get the label, it went priority weighted shipping, and it went in a large priority box. I only had to pay $7.33. So I made another $10.92, which brings it up to $44 in some sense, which is exactly the amount I had this on Poshmark for. So I really made this amount I really wanted. I don't understand why there was such a difference on what I paid for the label and what they charged for the shipping. You know, Jen the reseller has mentioned that a few times that she's noticed that, and somebody else has mentioned it. Yeah, that seems a little strange to me. Maybe I just don't notice it because I don't usually sell really heavy things like this. They're usually, lightweight items. Yeah. So the thing that I sold that I haven't packed up yet is these. It looks like Allison, but it's not Allison. Alason Athletics. These are basketball track sport. They're breakaway pants, which means they have snaps all the way down each leg that you can just tear these pants off yourself. I don't quite get the whole idea of it, but that's what they're called, breakaway pants. These are an adult small. I didn't know if they were men or women's. I put them in the men's bins, but there's no way. It just says adult. It says small adult on here. So they sold for $14.51. They weigh more than a pound, but that doesn't matter anymore because with this type of shipping we're doing, this has made it much easier. Let me get back here. This type of shipping, Ground Advantage, has made it much easier than doing that first class. The first class you could only sell up to right under 16 ounces, up to a pound. And then you had to do priority. With this Ground Advantage, you just do weighted. You can do weighted amounts. I think it's cheaper for the buyer. You just do the weighted amounts all the way up to 70 pounds. And it makes it so much easier as far as, you can put 3-pound things in a bag. You don't have to use priority boxes if you do it Ground Advantage. It just has made it much easier, I think. Let me see here where I left off. 0.02 is 20. Oh, wow. 20 more today. I don't know what it's at now. That's what it was earlier. My goodness sakes. Shorts as in videos, not, wait, I missed something up here. I do what sold shorts. If you're interested in that, come on over. Okay, what is your name on, is it Bryland Farm? Is it on YouTube? YouTube Shorts? And you sell on eBay? Yes, I will take a look for sure. A couple other people have asked me to put in my Poshmark closet name in and to put my eBay store name, which is really in here someplace. It's under, if you click on more and then click on something else, you can find me. If you if you click on about the person or about whatever, it gives the names of the stores. Did you happen to count your weekly totals yet? No, not yet. That's tomorrow's video. Sunday, I will be here at 4:30 as usual. Every Sunday, I'm here at 4:30 in the afternoon to say what I sold all week. We'll sort of go over it fast all week, and that's when I give the totals. Yeah, I had more sales this week for sure than the past week. Our Wines. I'm probably killing that name. Our Wines. Birmingham, Alabama. Well, welcome. Yes, I've done shorts, but they haven't been about the selling. They've just been miscellaneous things. Oh, yes, ma'am. You do. Okay. It's mostly clothes. I sell shoes. I sell men's and women's clothes and shoes. And I had an antique store, my husband and I, a long time ago. So I do, there are some other things on there. If you search, you know, if you search, the clothes far outnumber everything. But there are some dishes and some just miscellaneous things. I love to look at the hard goods when I go to the thrift stores, but I mostly sell clothes because they're easier to ship and easier to come by. Now, when I first started eBay like 12 years ago or whatever it was, a good 10 years ago, I did sell. I was selling some of my antiques that I had, after we closed the store, that I had brought home, and I sold a few of those off and on. Uh, Arnetta, I have no idea what you're talking about, the pegboard. You must be talking to somebody else there. I'm not so smart. I used to be a little smarter. I don't know. Things happen when as you get older. I don't know if you lose brain cells or if they just, I don't know. You have to keep using your brain, which is one reason why I keep doing this. Uh, my sister, I think, wonders why I'm continuing to do this because it is work, you know, but I don't know. I would be, I'm afraid I'd just vegetate if I'd sit and watch TV all day. What would I do? Of course, I have to take care of my chickens and stuff. I just recently rehomed my last horse. Uh, so he's in a really nice place. Uh, is- what got you started selling online? I think it was when I started selling some of the antiques off and on. That started me with eBay. And then my husband's parents, uh, his father died first. They lived down on Anna Maria Island in Florida. That's how we came by that house down there. But then his mother passed away, and we had to go down there because he was the only child, my son, or my husband. He was the only child, and we went down there. I don't know how much. We were down there like a month, and we were cleaning out the houses. It was a side by side right across the street from the beaches on the Gulf. And it was a side by side, first just one floor house. They don't build those anymore down there. You have to have your house up on sticks, or what they call that. But these were the old houses that were the first houses on the island when people first went there to live. And that house, I think it was never flooded all the time that we had it on all those hurricanes. Now, it's only 4 inches or maybe even less than that above sea level. The Gulf is right there, you know. It was a miracle. You know, the water would come up the driveway and sort of even come to the porch, which was raised only about that far, but it never flooded. But I hear it did flood one time when his parents had it in a bad hurricane, but we never had that. So see, I get off on tangents. Now I forget what I was talking about. Anna Maria Island. It's a beautiful place, but now it's gotten more crowded. It was a lot more beautiful when we first went down there. Yeah, it's off the coast of Sarasota, Bradenton area. If you look off the coast, you have to take bridges across to get to the island. Florida. Just look sort of off the coast of Siesta Key, Sarasota, Bradenton area. Yeah, we had a lot of good times down there. But after my husband passed away, I sold the property. After a few years, I sold the property, and my son was so mad at me. But it was too much to keep. You're from Louisiana, on the Gulf too. Not pretty water there. It was the one thing about the Gulf that I loved. It was gorgeous water most of the time on the island. Yeah, you're familiar with. You were from Fort Myers. Yeah, we have friends down there. In Siesta Key, we have friends in Bradenton. But yeah, I didn't want to fly anymore. After 9/11, I did not want to ever get on another airplane. That's just me. So I sold the property after my husband died, and yeah. Oh, you're in a marsh? Yeah. We were down there for a couple hurricanes that we stuck it out because they close the bridges after, when they tell you have to leave and you decide not to, they close the bridges. Then you can't get off the island. But these weren't hugely bad. They were like maybe a category 1, if that. And we stayed because the boat is down there. You know, our boat was tied to the dock. And you have to keep lengthening the ties or it'll just sink. If the water comes up way up above the dock, it'll just pull the boat down, sink your boat. So my husband wasn't having that. So we stayed. That was one of the times was when my daughter was down there with us. She thought we were crazy. One of our dogs, we had one of our dogs down there and my daughter. And she was just hysterical. So I was a nurse at the time. I was a nurse in the emergency room. I had Valium in my possession that I took once in a while. So I gave the dog a Valium and I gave my daughter a Valium. They both both were in the hallway with pillows all around them, and they fell asleep and missed the whole hurricane. Obviously, they weren't very used to taking a Valium. Venice is great too. Yeah, we've been to Venice. Your late husband's parents lived in Nokomis. I don't even know how to pronounce that right. We used to stay in Venice on the beach. Yeah, I'm finally ready to think about going back. I think every winter, if we have a bad winter, which we didn't have this year, but uh, sometimes if we have a really bad winter here, I'm thinking I probably sold the wrong property. But I don't think I would like to live in Florida full time with the heat and the chance of hurricanes all the time. Being here in Ohio, in Northeast Ohio, is a pretty safe place to be as far as weather goes. We have a tornado once in a while, but nothing like a lot of states have. But the winters can get kind of sketchy. But my sister lives where we grew up in Erie, Pennsylvania. She gets a lot more snow than we do here. Yeah. Nokomis. I never even saw that name before. Right now, I have, let me just look. I'm going to go off here for a second and look at my listings. My active listings, I have 2,531. 2,531. Can you still hear me? 2,531 at the moment. Yeah, I was up above 3,000 for a while, and I was trying to really get down. I'd like to get down below 2,000. I'd like to get to 1,000. I mean, you can have a good business at with 1,000 in your inventory. This has taken over my whole house. I have a big farmhouse. I don't know if anybody new is here. I think so, but my house is 174 years old. It's a big century farmhouse, and it's taken over 4 of my rooms. Yeah, I would like my house back and just have maybe this room. Although this was my favorite room. This was the library. That one old piece, that's a antique piece. It's a old step back cupboard, actually. Is full of was full of books, and then I had other pieces like that were full of books, and we had a couch and big comfy chairs and all kind. It was a really just a nice, comfy, warm room, and this just took it over. Nokomis, just south of Sarasota. Oh, okay. I don't know why I haven't seen that name before then. How did you get so many listings? Shopping. Going to the thrift stores. It's so fun to be when you first start this. That's the most funnest part. Is the shopping part, you know. And you're trying to build up your store, because when you first start and you just have a few things, you don't really start selling things till you get probably over 100. Then people said, if you get over 500, you sell more. So you just keep going, and pretty soon you have 2,500 things. Yeah, that wasn't hard. Uh, Yeah, 2,500 and some. Yes, I wish I would have recorded a tour of my house way back when it used to be like it was. And unless I did and don't remember, and it's on one of the external hard drives, but I don't have anything on this hard drive that I'm on at the moment. Yeah. I'm basically living in I one room upstairs, which is my bedroom. And then I basically down here live in the kitchen, the dining room, and the big family room. Everything, even the parlor, is half taken over with eBay. I take photos. I'm going to do a video on that because I just got my GoPro camera, another one, and I'm going to make a video of me photographing. But I have a I have something set up in one of the bedrooms upstairs, and I put some indoor outdoor carpeting on the wall, which is the gray background that you see in my most of my pictures. And then I have two light boxes. Uh, yeah, and there's a window there. Sometimes I can use natural light. And there's still furniture in that room that's backed up against the wall because that was a bedroom. That was the bedroom where my sister would stay when she'd come to visit. But we're sort of not traveling now that we're got so old. Uh, but yeah, the old iron bed is still in that room, backed up against the wall. And a beautiful piece that I have to show my kids so they don't sell it. It was handmade by my great grandfather uh, out of cherry wood. It's a big chest of drawers. Yeah, you can't really see it too well because there's stuff in front of it. But that's where I do my pictures, which is makes me go up and down the steps an awful lot because I purchase things, I bring them in, everything has to go upstairs. Well, I usually do a video about what I got, the haul video. And then everything has to go upstairs to get photographed. Then everything has to come downstairs to this computer because I list on a big computer. Uh, I can draft things on my phone, and then but I do the permanent listing or the last listing on the computer because I can see it better. My eyesight isn't so great here. I'm in what used to be, no, this used to be the library, this room. And that room back there is sort of a rectangular long room. And when we moved here, it's an office. But that's not really what it used to be when this house was original. That was part of the kitchen, believe it or not. Yeah, there's a room off of the parlor that's a bathroom now, and then there's a door that there's a. I'll have to take it through, even though it's taken over by eBay. I'll have to do a tour and explain how the house is now and how the house used to be. Because the man that we bought this house from, uh, he loved to do things about historical places. So he did all the research about this house, and he made a big scrapbook and a book about it. a scrapbook about it. And he passed that down to us when we bought the house. So I have all the paper and stuff all about this house. I have copies of the plat, from originally when the house first showed up on the maps way back in the 1800s. And if you think about this, I often think about that this house was here before the Civil War. And I often think about what the women wore that lived in this house. They were in you know, long dresses and back before the Civil War clothes. It's mind blowing, when you think the history in this house. There has only been, counting me, 5 owners of this house. Yeah, it hasn't switched owners a bunch of times from way back then. Yeah. Now the house only goes as far, the 1850 part of the house only goes as far as the parlor. And then there's 2 steps down into the kitchen. The kitchen and the dining room area were built on in the early 1900s. Early 1900s. And then the family room, that was the new room, that was put on in the 1960s. But after my husband died, I wanted a new kitchen, and I had somebody come in. I hired somebody that did a lot of restoration, and he came in and he completely gutted the kitchen and the dining room right back to the studs, and we got to see exactly how this house is built and that ceiling and everything. So if you ever see the kitchen and you see those the ceiling tile, the tin ceiling, that's not old, that's new. That's a new tin ceiling. There was never a tin ceiling in the house, in the old house. But the house had a slate roof. This part of the house had a slate roof, and the 1900s part of the house had a shake roof, wood shakes. Yeah. There's pictures from the outside of the house, and you can see the tall part of the house is the 1852 part. And then you'll see the lower part of the house. That's the kitchen and dining room area, and that's the early 1900s part. Yeah, this house is amazing. The room behind me, that's a good idea, but I would have to clear it out. It is completely full of inventory. And that's where all the shoes are. That is a good idea, though, because we thought of I have a girl that helps me once a week do different things. Every other week she cleans for me, and then the off weeks she comes here and we do all different things, whatever I want to do. So we talked about bringing the photographic stuff into the parlor, but there wasn't a good spot to put it because there's already inventory in there. So yeah, I'm thinking that it would be easier to clear out inventory from that back room and do something. That's a very good idea. Thank you. Renee Gregory. Now, I don't remember that name either. Are you new here? Since you're asking about lighting, you must sell too. Yes, I will have to talk to Samantha about that and see what she thinks. That's a good idea. Live Life ET. Your house was built in 1915, and later we found out that a man was shot and killed in your living room. Ooh, but so far we haven't seen any ghosts. That's another story I'm going to tell you. I'm saving up stories uh, to tell you on this channel. Let me write that down before I forget it. Yeah. I have my ghost stories here. And then we had somebody come and supposedly got rid of the ghosts or let them go on. And I think I don't I I don't really believe in ghosts, but it was there, there were strange things. Uh my daughter certainly believed in it because she was the one having a problem. And my husband, who would you would never think would ever say anything about thinking there was a ghost or something going on. He was a cop, a policeman. He was a big strapping policeman, had been a Marine. Never in a million years. When he asked me to get somebody in here, I I was amazed. Uh, I only have 4 chickens now. I had 10. I never had a huge amount. I think the most I had was 10. I had 8 for quite a while. And you know how chickens, what happens? Everything wants to eat your chickens. We have lots of hawks around here. And each one of my pointer dogs got 1 chicken. Even Penny. Penny got 1 chicken. My last dog, Dexter, he got 1 chicken. And I think, I'm not sure which one. I believe Rocky, my very first pointer, got a chicken too. You know, one just dropped dead for unknown reasons. You know, a hawk got, a couple. Yeah, things, when you get chickens, you have to, you know that. Uh, there's a lot of things living right around here. I have a raccoon right now living in my garage. Every year I have a raccoon. It's usually a mama. She has babies. They have she has picked my garage to be have her babies at. And later in the more towards spring, I will see the little babies peering over the overhang in the garage. They're so damn cute. And but the bad thing about it is my chicken coop takes up 1/4 of my inside garage. I had it built inside there so it would be out of the weather, and it's all insulated and has its window and everything, but it's built like Fort Knox. So far we haven't had any problems with the coop at all. It's all when they're outside. Yeah. I mean, besides raccoons, we have fox, we have coyotes, we have uh, what are those things? People think they look like big rats, and they're very good to have around. They eat a million ticks. I can't See, I'm losing that word right now. They have this bear tail. They have little babies in the pouch. What is their name? What's the name of that animal? A possum, yes. Thank you, thank you. Yes, thank you, James. We have lots of possums around here. Yeah, we have my dog. I had one dog get a possum out front, carried it all the way to the back, and once they're not playing dead. That just happens to them. They go into a state of that they look like they're dead. I mean, it just happens to them. So he just laid it down. They're not much interested in it after that, the dogs. So the dogs think you bought them supper. Yeah, really. Oh, owls too. I have a couple owls very close because at night I hear them calling to each other. I hear the whoo, whoo, whoo. Yeah, we have lots of predators around here. So keeping chickens is to live very long. I mean, these four are about 6 years old. That's pretty good. Yeah. I started to raise chickens, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe. I loved it. Believe me, when I first got the first bunch of chickens, I was so sorry I hadn't done it before because it is so much fun to have chickens. And you get eggs. I never had to buy any eggs after that. Well, one winter I did. The first winter, like an idiot, I put lighting into the coop. And it's a wonder I didn't not only burn the coop down, but burn the whole garage in my car. After that, no more of that. So they get to rest their little egg maker during the winter. But then they've just started to lay. Now they're older, so they're not laying every single day. But I've gotten quite a few eggs already now because it's getting lighter. Why people never know why they stop laying and start laying, and why do they, what makes them start laying? It's the length of daylight. It's all a hormonal thing. Yeah. Yes, welcome, James. The one that dropped may have been egg bound. Maybe. Now, I did fix an egg bound one that I knew was egg bound. I brought her in the house. We soaked her in warm water. Did all the things that you have to try. And she passed the egg. You will see them try to squat. Yeah. I know that was a traumatic experience for me. Now, I didn't notice anything about that chicken that just dropped dead. So I have no idea. And none of the chickens got sick or anything. I was afraid something was going through the coop, but no, she just dropped dead. Strange things will kill. They can just drop dead from stress. You never had that work? It just worked that once, but I only had one egg bound chicken. I had a couple. I had one die of a something wrong with its crop. I had a tiny little chick die. Something wrong with its crop too. Yeah, I just stayed in the this lower bathroom down here and soaked her in it warm, kept it putting warm water. She probably wanted to live in there after a while. Yeah, the owls. Right. I have in the summer, I let them out into a much bigger area. They have a caged area out from the coop. There's videos about my chicken stuff in YouTube. If you look way back, like into the summers, it'll show you the coop and the. I've they go from the coop through the coop door, through the pop door into a caged area, like a dog. It was a huge dog cage when we moved here, and then from there, I have that netting fencing, and they have a pretty large area that they stay in all the time. And then in the summertime, I put that netting up into a huge area that the dog has to be in the house the whole time, of course, because this dog especially, and she would bark the whole entire time that they were out there. It was not a restful time. So they get to go out into a much bigger area. Now, I didn't put the fencing up this past summer. I only had, I think, 6 chickens at that time at the beginning of the summer. And then I would just let them out in the yard because the dog had to be in the house. And I would just sort of stay out, amongst them. They didn't go far. And I always had my little, long stick that I would just, I, you just tap it on the ground. They get to you can herd chickens pretty easily if you teach them from when they're real young. So mine herd really easily. Yeah, in the summer I'll do a video. Now that I have my GoPro back, I'll do some chicken videos. It's just too darn cold right now. Uh, so let me show you. I have 6 more things from that big haul I got, and I want to show you these before I take them upstairs. These are new things I haven't showed you from a haul before. So these are all men's items. That's all I've left to now these will probably be listed in a couple days because I still have things upstairs. Okay, this grabbed my attention because it's the big pony, and you don't often see the big pony on polo things. This is Polo Ralph Lauren. It's just a t-shirt, but it also has this flag is sewn on there. It says USA, R. Lauren, Ralph Lauren. But on the sleeve, it has a number 3. So I'm not sure what this shirt is, but it's just a white t-shirt. But anything Ralph Lauren, anything Polo Ralph Lauren, especially, is good. So I don't think this will go for a tremendous amount, probably around $20, but I like to get Ralph Lauren things. I'm starting to get golf shirts for summer. This is a men's Nike Golf, and this is a size large, Nike Dry Fit, and I thought it was a pretty color and pretty pattern. So it's a good thing for summer to have in your inventory are golf shirts. I live on a golf course. I'm surrounded on 3 sides at the golf course. I have 1 square acre, and in the golf course area, the father of the there's 3 sons that own the golf course now. The father owned it before. The land that this whole huge golf course is on belonged to this house. This had been a dairy farm, a big dairy farm. There used to be a big barn in back. It's gone now. They tore it down. But my husband had played golf on this golf course before we ever bought this house, and he remembers that barn. They had the Amish come and dismantle it. Is that a word? And take it down. They'll do that to save the wonderful lumber in it. Okay, this and the next shirt feel like they've never been worn. They are like crispy new. This is a Brooks Brothers 17 and the 34 sleeve. And this is the style Madison. It's a button-down shirt, and it's a little check. Very clean looking. Good brand. I used to sell more of Brooks Brothers than I do anymore, but I got it. This is Ralph Lauren. This is the navy tag, navy blue tag, and the navy blue pony. This is a little red and white check plaid. It's a button down in the classic fit, and it is a extra large. You can hear how crispy it is. This is all cotton, this one. I'm not sure if the other one is or not. Now the other two, these last 2 things are fishing shirts. Remember, I just sold those 2 fishing vests. So I was glad to find these. This is a large by Worldwide Sportsman. It's a short sleeve. Forgot to look up the fabric. It's like almost water repellent type fabric. It has the little. It has this little thing here. Where is it? This is to put your flies, if you're fly fishing, just, stick things on there. Or another person told me it can also be to lean your pole up against yourself when you're doing something else with your hands. I don't quite understand that, but anyway, this is all vented in the back, for the hot summer. Nice pockets. It's a nice, pretty yellow color. And this is by Real Legends. Real, REEL, the real kind. Real Legends. This is also, no, this is a medium. Sort of a khaki color, a beige color. Has the same pockets. And has that little thing there. I have to look into that more and see what that is. This is Real Legends Performance Clothing, medium. This says 100% cotton, but it's all vented in the back also. These pockets, this has a zipper there. I'm not sure if the other one did or not. No, it didn't have a zipper. It had another little pocket though down there. So that's what I got, and that will be the end of that haul, that big haul I got. So I will probably this next week have to go shopping, see how that happens. In between, sometimes I'll try to stretch it out where I will end items in my inventory and then end them and then sell similar. You don't just relist them because that doesn't do anything. But when you end them and then you sell similar, that gives them a whole new identification number. And yeah, it seems like new items. So I sometimes do that in between. So I don't shop too much. Okay, owls get your birds too, yeah. Let's see, we're past the egg bound. Well, I've never had it work for me. I'm probably too. Oh, okay. What do you pay for t-shirts at my store? They're usually now they're $4.49 or $4.59, I believe, for short sleeve. No, t-shirts are $4.29. Medina's Goodwill stores are less expensive than any of the other, like in Cuyahoga County. You probably don't know it, but that's like the Cleveland area and all the other suburbs around Cleveland. Once you get down to Medina County, which is way south, the Goodwill stores here are less expensive. Plus, we have a thing in Medina County in the Goodwill stores where if you buy 100 items, you get a point for each item. Once you get 100 points, you get a 35% off coupon. So I usually am shopping almost always with 35% off of their price. Even though the price is still lower than most places, I still get to take 35% off everything. Yeah. Sell similar. Do you change anything in the listing? I usually change something in the title. Sometimes I change the price just a little bit. Something. You should change something. Yeah. Good point. I've never sold live on Poshmark. No. I'm too nervous to do that. I fumble around too much anymore. I could have done it 10 years ago. I could have done Whatnot too 10 years ago, but not now. No, I'm not good on my feet. Yeah, I'm so happy you all came to help me celebrate. Root beer always makes me feel better. Even if well, it's the carbonation. If I don't feel so good, it's just like taking ginger ale. I mean, it's the carbonation, I know. But I'll just have some root beer. Yeah. Yeah, you just have to change a little bit. If my pictures are bad, like if it's a really old item that I took pictures a long time ago and the lighting was horrible and I'll retake photos. You can do that too. And have Or even if your photos aren't bad, sometimes if you switch a photo as your main photo, that's another good thing to do. Yeah. So that's about it for tonight. Uh, I will be on tomorrow at 4:30 to tell you the whole week of sales and the numbers and everything. Thank you. Uh, Sometimes I will do videos on just some stories that I have a zillion stories, things. Yes, I did. I broke 1,000. Oh, well, you're very welcome. I'm so glad you came to help me celebrate. Uh, I'm going to have to yell at my sister. She didn't come here. Uh, my daughter's out working. I'm going to call my son tonight and tell my 2 grandkids that I got 1,000 subscriptions finally. Uh, so I will see whoever comes back. I will see you tomorrow, 4:30, and we'll go over everything I did sell. So thanks so much. Thank you, Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Uh, Thanks for coming. Uh, and see you tomorrow. Bye. Yes, gardening season down there. Yeah, gardening season. I wish you'd hurry up and get here. I'm really anxious to get gardening this year.